Hello and welcome back to CEO.CA's coverage live from the Precious Metals Summit. I'm excited today to be joined by Wendy Chan, CEO and Director of Lode Gold. Wendy, how are you finding the conference so far?
It's great. Thank you so much, James.
So, gold's pushing all-time highs. How's the sentiment at Lode Gold these days?
Well, I think it's been quite challenging in the last 6 months as we raised $6 million. I've been in this business for over a decade, and it's been quite the uphill climb. So due to all the hard work of the team, I think we've come to a very key milestone, and we're ready to sort of move to that next step, which is spinning out the company that is a pure play exploration in Canada. So we defined that intention back in October last year where we got the board sign-off. So we've been very busy executing on the plan, and we're almost there. But a week or so ago, we brought in a 19.9 strategic partner that essentially put $3.5 million into the company, and $3 million goes into the SpinCo.
Okay.
So we are still going to raise another $1.5 million because for $4.5 million in the next 12 months, we're going to be drilling in both Yukon and New Brunswick.
Okay, fantastic. Lots to get into there.
Yeah.
Maybe if we could wind back the clock a little bit, could you tell us about how you joined Lode Gold, maybe what your experience in the industry is, and maybe a brief overview of the company?
So my background is actually operations. I wasn't in mining until about 10 years ago. I used to work with Johnson & Johnson, GlaxoSmithKline, managing the P&L and the businesses, so on an operations side of things. So I was brought in late last year by the key shareholders who wanted a turnaround and a restructuring of the company. So we've been hunting down, working with the board to define the strategy and plans. And one of the key things we looked at is to unlock the value of the shareholders. We need to spin out 2 pure play companies.
Yeah.
Essentially, we're creating 2 companies that's $10 million apiece. And very interestingly is all the shareholders that are in Lode Gold right now will get shares of the new company in a very tax-efficient manner. That's what we're doing.
Great. Yeah, I mean, that sounds like a very exciting opportunity for shareholders in Lode Gold to get, maybe a little extra bang for their buck with this spin-out. I mean, I imagine it's been a very lengthy process to get to this point. Could you walk us through some of the work that has gone into this deal?
Yeah, so we have to figure out what assets go into the new company, right? And we have to figure out the story and why it makes sense and resonate. So we have a very nice Yukon asset that is in the Tombstone Belt. In fact, in December, we confirmed that we have reduced intrusive, which is what Snowline has.
Yeah.
Which is very, very early, right? So will we be a mine? Will we have enough reduced intrusive? All that is still to be determined, hence evaluation. So in Yukon, we have that. And it's not a little package. It's 27 kilometers strike. So it's significant.
Yeah.
And that can be a standalone. So there was a debate, do we put this out as a separate company? And we have been approached by other people that want to merge with us to take this out as a separate entity. So the decision at the board was, no, let's just put Yukon and New Brunswick together, because then we would have news flow all year round, even though that on a geographical basis they're not in the same area, but they're highly prospective. Meaning investors get more than one chance for discovery success. You get Yukon and you get New Brunswick. Right?
Yeah.
And we can book New Brunswick more or less all year round, whereas Yukon is seasonal.
Yeah.
So this way, there is that optionality, which at the end of the day, investors in mining.
Absolutely, that optionality, I think, is a big upside. And you mentioned your discovery about a rig system at the Yukon, which is something that I think everyone is looking for in that Tombstone Gold Belt.
Yeah, we have the sheeted causeway and hosted in Hornfelds, right? We just need to go back in there and actually define it even more. And so recently we did a working alliance with Seabridge and with Snowline and flew the Squid. Squid is sort of a Mercedes-Benz or Porsche of MEG.
Okay.
I think that's the simplest way to say it. So it lights up and it tells a story.
And can you give us a sense of the work that you've been doing at this project? When will people start to see the results from that work, and how will it be interpreted?
So with the Yukon project, we just flew the MEG survey across the 27 kilometers. We piggyback on Seabridge and Snowline spend. So we saved the shareholders $100,000 by doing that.
Yeah.
And we will also had conversations where if we were to drill, we would drill at the tail end season of Seabridge so we could use the cam and save another $100,000.
Fantastic.
So we're working smart as a junior because money is scarce and raising money is really difficult in this period. So that's the plan. Now Yukon is seasonal, which means for this season it's a wrap.
Yeah.
So next season we're going down to do surface sampling and to better define the drill target. In addition to the geophysics we've done, so that we're not going to spend unless we know where to drill. So that's the Yukon spend. But the results with the squid it's coming in the next week or so.
Okay.
Right? So that would be a nice information for Yukon.
Yeah.
And then New Brunswick, it's the exciting one that we weren't even expecting it. So of the two assets we have, the Yukon, we have drilled 4,500 meters. And so we have some ounces at the back of the napkin, but because it's not 43-101 compliant, I cannot say it.
Yeah.
But anybody that can do the calculations will know that we have the ounces. We have economic intercepts, 50 gram meters, and we have pretty good high grade in the surface samples.
Okay.
So it's not shabby, but it's still too early, right? We're not ready to do any, resource calculation at this stage.
Yeah.
Still more work to be done. But it's highly prospective.
Yeah, promising early results as well.
It's highly, highly prospective. Now we've got the 43-101 done, so we're ready for the spin coal. So we're not just saying the spin coal, we're actually making all the steps to get there.
Yeah.
So getting the 43-101 ready, getting marketing ready, that's one step. So New Brunswick is also pretty interesting. We have only drilled 2 holes.
Yeah.
And 2 holes hit. So we know there's gold there. And we are about to do the V10 as well to better define the drilling for next season. So what's good about New Brunswick is that you can work in the winter.
Right, all year round access.
Yeah. So you don't have to wait till spring and summer. So when the ground has frozen over in January, you could drill. Right, so that's the thinking right now, is that's the plan, that we're going to do the V10, define the targets, and then drill in January. Now, what's interesting is around the time of May, when I was about to announce the spin out, an investor came forward and wanted to do a deal with us for $3.5 million.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, okay.
I did want to touch on that. You mentioned that it's a challenging environment to raise money, but you raised over $6 million in 6 months, including that $3.5 million investment. Walk us through maybe how you managed to pull that off.
Well, we have a strong team that's working really hard. It's basically when this deal is going on, it's literally 24/7.
Yeah.
But what's interesting about this deal is that they bring not just money, but technical expertise. So now we have capital markets, marketing, management, leadership, and we have people on the ground technically able to get to work.
Yeah.
Right. And not only that, it's also potentially a district play because now we created one of the largest land packages. Right, so we are 420 square kilometers with a 42 kilometers strike.
Yeah.
Of similar rocks all the way through, right? And as we did very little work, but we've got mineralization that we proved for the 2 holes, right? So more work has to be done. What's interesting about this project and this deal with FanCam is they bring with them technical expertise on the ground. So as we know, people matters, right? First people, then business. Jim Collins from Good to Great.
Yeah.
So you need the management team, you need the marketing team, you need the finance team, and you need technical team, right? And in this market with early exploration, technical is very key. And so FanCam brings technical expertise, and now we are basically created one of the largest land package in New Brunswick. This is similar to what Newfound Gold has, the largest land package in Newfoundland. And New Brunswick is known to be much easier to work with $90 per meter drill.
Yeah, very
So that's very economical. So it's a different environment and much easier to work with, road access, as opposed to helicopter in and out. And so this is a very interesting play because it's on the same geological analog to a lot of the famous projects that you hear about. Calibre mining, which originally was first Marathon, Galway, Oceana Gold, Puma is in the same trend, and of course Newfound Gold. I think estimated Newfound Gold since inception has gone up 500%.
Yeah, certainly a success story.
Yeah. So maybe we could be the next Newfound Gold, but in New Brunswick.
Yeah, I mean, you hear more and more about New Brunswick as a fantastic mining jurisdiction. I guess, very busy time at Lode Gold. Could you maybe give us a sense of let's start with this spin out. So the next steps, what can people expect there?
So what we're doing right now is aggressively actually pushing the company out in terms of spinning in.
Yeah.
So within days, I think we'll be pushing that out, inking the deal. And so exchange approval, we have no way of estimating how long.
Yeah, of course.
So we budgeted about 8 weeks for approval and turnaround. So that means by middle of November, the two companies will trade separately as two companies, and there's local shareholders. Any one of them registered shareholders before the record date gets a share of a new company.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's a one-to-one equivalent to that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Almost a one-to-one.
Yeah.
Because right now we are at, we're hovering around 10 to 14 million.
Yeah.
New company is coming out at 9.65 million.
Okay.
Right? And you can do valuation any day, anytime with different methods, but there's no better way than money validating it. So $3 million for 19.9, we have the valuation pegged.
Yeah, absolutely. And great to have a significant shareholder there came in. I guess, just to wrap up, obviously the spin out is going to be a big part of the story over the coming months. But are there any other catalysts in store that people should keep their eye on?
The spin out is a big one, and then we're pivoting the focus onto California. Last one.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we've done some geological work on California. We are the first company to look at this from underground perspective.
Okay.
What's good about underground is that it only disturbs we only use 20% of land, but very little surface disturbance. Right. So that's good.
Right. Yeah.
And we are on private land, and we own it 100%.
Okay.
So over 3,000 acres. We own that land. So this is interesting. And this was an old brownfield mine that was mined in the 1940s at 8 grams per ton.
Okay.
Yeah. And it was just suspended. It was never not permitted. It was suspended because of a wall prohibition, gold prohibition.
Okay.
It was World War II. Yeah. So this is similar to what Ross Beatty had in his Casa Mountain mine, 500 kilometers away. We're on the same trend. We're on the modern lode belt that has basically 50 million ounces of gold has been produced. So how San Francisco and the Western Gold Rush and all that, Mariposa is the original account. Has a lot of history in it.
Great. Well, Wendy, sounds like there's a lot of exciting updates in the near future for Lode Gold. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you, James.
Okay.